Hi everyone, Dr. Rebecca Harvey with Total Wellness Consultants and Heart Warriors. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about intimacy. As humans, we all have a drive for connection, and we really strive to seek and find connection with others. Some of us may be scared of connection, but nonetheless there's this sort of inherent, innate drive within us. When I talk about intimacy, what I'm referring to is that deeper level of connection, that sense of really being seen and understood, accepted and loved for who we are. Intimacy is very scary for a lot of people. It's difficult to understand for a lot of people, but nonetheless, we have this inherent or innate drive that causes us to seek it out. This is a topic that I discuss with clients who are both in a relationship and those who are seeking to find a relationship. So the interesting thing about intimacy is that when we first meet someone, and this is true whether it's individualized or within a group setting, we start to look for commonalities. We try to look for shared ground. Do we see the world in a similar way? Are we interested in similar things? Do we have similar values? Is there some fundamental common ground from which we can build? And I often joke with my clients who are dating that this can look as silly sometimes as being on a date and saying like, no way, you wear shoes? I also wear shoes. And you drink water? I drink water too. Like, wow, we have so much in common. So I say that with a bit of cynicism and a little joking. But the reality is we're really driven to find this common connection. The interesting thing is, about which most people aren't aware, is that true intimacy, the deeper connection, actually shows up in the difference. It's that space where we show up and say, I don't agree with you and I don't see things the same way and I perceive the world in a unique way from you. Can you still accept me, value me, or love me? And this is why when we have time to develop and foster relationships, it's a little easier in friendships where there's a little less at stake and thus we can be a bit more vulnerable in showing up all the way with who we are. But we see that over time, as we know someone, we go through enough things, they see how we handle things, they see us at our worst and our best. And if we still get messages from them that we're valued, accepted, and loved, we begin to feel a more intimate connection in that relationship, which fosters a deeper trust and allows the relationship to grow even further, evolve, develop, and deepen even more so in intimacy. So as you think about developing connection, for those of you who are in a relationship and working to develop deeper connection, even in a married relationship, the best one you could imagine, couples are still gonna disagree on 75% of things. So like 25% of the time, you guys are gonna line up, and 75% of the time, you're not going to line up. So if you stop trying to get other people to change, to come around to your perspective, and instead try to really see and hear them for who they are and accept them in their difference, you will see fundamental changes happen that have a profound effect on you and your relationship. In friendships, again, this comes a little more easily because we feel a little less vulnerable if the relationship was to end. But there's something about romantic relationship that triggers something in us that's likened only to that of the relationship from our early caregivers, in which we have this sort of regressed or childlike feeling of anxiety or fear on a deep level, that if we show up and it doesn't go well and we're left, like our world will crumble, or even if we just feel momentarily rejected, our world may crumble. And this just isn't the case. We're far more resilient than that. And the beauty of having a deep and intimate relationship is really worth the risk. Now, with that being said, important first to determine whether someone is safe. Trying to be vulnerable and develop intimacy in an abusive relationship can create a lot of emotional havoc and trauma, relationally speaking. So, important too to make sure that the person you're dealing with is a safe person for you. Emotional maturity is a big important piece of someone being a safe and receptive counterpart to fostering intimacy. But if you find that you have a person who's mature enough to develop and foster a deep connection with you, and in my experience, this is most often the case with my clients, then allow yourself to push through the fear of that vulnerability and see what you can find. Dr. Rebecca Harvey for Total Wellness Consultants and Heart Warriors, wishing you all a beautiful day.